welcome back to the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube. Welcome back to Swivel Chair Sports. I'm your host, Zach Circumary Burkle, here with the host today, Aaron and Joe. Go say hi, guys.
Hello.
Alright, so in this video, we'll be doing the mid-season edition of our NFL Power Rankings. We did one at the beginning of the year, we did one at the quarter point of the season, and now we're giving out our halfway or mid-season. We're giving out our mid-season power rankings, okay? If you haven't watched any of our videos on this before, we start off with an honorable mention. Work our way up from 10 to 1 after that.
If you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
Back to the video. Alright, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with our honorable mention. My number 11 team at the mid-season point. A little surprising for some, maybe. Got the Los Angeles Rams. We just talked about it in another video we recorded tonight. Started off the season pretty rough. Started off 4-1. Are on a 2-game winning streak against, granted, the Raiders is one of those teams, but just beat the Vikings. Teams they lost to include the Packers and the Lions and the Cardinals, who they lost 41-10 to. But we're going to forget about that game. That was a fluky game. Outside of that, tough games all around, close ones, one-score games. I think every single loss that they've taken outside of that Cardinals one, which was brutal. So, yeah, I think the Rams are pretty solid. Just got their 2 receivers back in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. 3 weeks ago, I think, during their bye week, they were talking about maybe trading Stafford or trading Kupp, and now all of a sudden they find themselves only 1 game back of the division lead, and pretty favorable schedule coming up down the stretch. Seahawks, Dolphins, New England, Philly, and New Orleans in their next 5 games. So I think those are 4 winnable games. Probably even all 5 of them are winnable, and 3 of them I think they'd be disappointed if they lost. So yeah, go Rams. I think they're going to make some noise here late in the season.
Falcons at 11. Sort of a, feisty team. They've not been super dominant. The offense has sort of been the focal point, and the reason they've won a lot of games. Defense struggled a little bit, but a lot's being put on Kirk's shoulders his first year there with a lot of young weapons. So they're doing pretty good despite all of that. So give me the Falcons at the 11 honorable mention spot.
So y'all are gonna hate me. I have my 11. I have like a 11A, 11B. I got 2 teams tied for my honorable mention.
Okay.
I just really couldn't decide because I feel like maybe 1 or 2 more weeks and I can finally lean towards one way for each of them.
I did that last time.
One was also the Falcons, and then my other one was Philly.
Okay.
I do like Philly. I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts. I really like him, but they play down too much. I don't know if it's the connection between Hurts and Sirianni. I don't know if it's the play calling in Sirianni. I don't know if it's, Jalen does have some turnovers earlier in the season, so he's looking good. I still have faith in Philly. I'm leaning more towards that they are a top 10 team in the league. I just don't like the inconsistency that we get week in and week out. And it doesn't matter. Sometimes they play up to the competition. Sometimes they play down to it. Sometimes they play the complete opposite of what their competition is. So, and then Falcons, you guys named it. Everything you guys said. Young team, but Kirk is that guy, and he's making things happen. But don't know if I trust their defense enough to be able to be confident with them being top 10.
Yeah, my number 10 spot, I got the San Francisco 49ers. Just barely staying inside my top 10. Purely based off of just the talent they have on that team. I do think that at some point they're going to be more healthy than they're not. They're 3-4, so same as the Rams. Got a chance to, or maybe it might be 4-4 actually. Regardless, they're right there, neck and neck with the rest of the division, with a chance to come out with that NFC West title. I do think they have more talent than any other team in that division, so they probably have the best chance at winning it in my eyes. Brock Purdy, kind of showing some of those limitations we were worried about without some of his star players, but at the same time, he's playing really well as well. Like, too, he's not playing bad. Debo Samuel hopefully gonna get a little healthier. Kittle seems like he may start to explode a little bit here down the stretch. And losing Ayuk sucks. Maybe being out McCaffrey for the year sucks, but they found some pretty decent replacements so far in Juwan Jennings and Jordan Mason, respectively. So, assuming Juwan Jennings can come back healthy. So, I think if the Niners are healthy, they're a really good team. And so, I think they still deserve
If
to
Jordan
be
Mason
top 10.
goes out, Isaac Guerrero can pop off for 80 to 100.
Exactly.
No problem. Just man up there.
Yeah. So, I think Shanahan's coaching is good enough to put them in top 10.
At number 10, I have the Washington Commanders. Obviously, could have lost last week, but came out with a miracle win against Chicago. That offense is just really scary. Last week was kind of the first week that they struggled to find the end zone. Moved the ball pretty well, just had to settle for a lot of field goals.
Good kicker, though.
But good kicker. Made like 7 field goals earlier in the season. So,
Week 1, I think. Yeah.
they've got a guy that they can trust there. Jaden Daniels seems to be developing kind of right along pace. So give me the Commanders at 10. The only downside is that defense, some question marks, but they've been better than they were at the beginning of the season. So
Special teams doesn't matter until it matters. People don't until it gets you wins, or you might not realize how much it helps you in wins. But when it's bad, go ask those teams that keep getting field goals blocked or punts blocked, and ask them how it feels. It's awful. When special teams is bad, it can lose you games. So credit to their kicker doing his work when their offense can't. My number 10 was between another 2 teams. Berg said the Rams earlier. They just missed outside on me for the top 4 for even honorable mention. But I got the Niners. One, just like Berg said, I'm not even going to repeat everything. Injuries is injuries, but man, I like Fred Warner. I like those guys on that defense, keeping them in it. I like what Purdy's been doing. So my other team at number 10, this one might shock some people. And I don't know how confident I am in it, but I'm going with Denver. I think Denver.
Interesting.
Top 10 is a lot,
No.
but I think they're a sneaky good team. I think that pass defense can do some things. Sean Payton might just be getting better with Bo Nix week in and week out. And they can't run the ball very well at all, but, maybe we see some stuff happen.
Yeah, they can't run the ball for shit right now.
So Burke and I got a top 11. Joe's got a top 20.
Yeah. About up or
Hey,
down?
you know what it is? I'm with Burke. I like their pass defense a lot. I like the corners. I'm a real big fan of Surtain taking them over a lot.
Yeah.
I know it's outrageous. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, their defense is really fun though.
Denver's top 10, boys.
At number 9, I've got the you talked about them earlier, Joe. I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they've been playing some really good football lately after a kind of wishy-washy start. After some weird stuff to wrap up last year, they kind of came in with the same kind of funk that they finished last season with. But I think that's kind of behind them for the most part now. Jalen Hurts seems to have been doing better at protecting the football, taking care of it. Got their top 2 weapons, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, back healthy. So, I think this Eagles team is starting to hit their stride and should be right up there in talks for, with the Commanders for that NFC East crown. So, got the Eagles.
I've got the Texans at 9. Sort of fell a couple spots. Actually, no, I had them at 9 last time too. Sort of struggling in that offensive line and haven't been as dominant sort of as I've expected, but they're winning ball games, and that's really all that matters. But a couple big losses here with injuries. Stephon Diggs out for the season, so that's a big loss. But they got a running back, Mixon, right?
Yeah, Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, they got him back, and that run game is really starting to reestablish itself. So I got the Texans at 9.
My number 9 is Pittsburgh. I like what we're doing. We're 6-2, so I'm gonna. That's a lot of it is we're 6-2, so I'm gonna give us top 10, and we have a top 2 defense in my opinion, at least guaranteed top 5. Maybe Russ is the guy. Maybe he's looked good. At least there's big plays, and it makes it a little more exciting. We're still a defensive team, though. I don't think our offense is winning us a bunch of games, as you can see. I'm a lot more confident when our defense is the ones closing out the game more than our offense. So, nonetheless, they're 6-2. They need it with the gauntlet that's coming up here in a couple weeks. So we're just happy to be here at this point, and it's looking like at least Tomlin will have another winning season.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say, looking back, I probably discredited the Steelers a little bit. They were probably right around that honorable mention 10 spot for me, and I could have had them up a spot or two probably, but just missing out on my whole list. Number 8, I got the Washington Commanders. I think it was a little bit of a lucky, but still tough, gritty win this past week against the Bears. Like you mentioned earlier, Aaron, that defense is starting to shape into form a little bit. Could maybe be better than we all thought it would be prior to the season starting. And then obviously Jane Daniels running away with Rookie of the Year to an extent as well. So, Commanders at 8. Probably one of the most fun teams in the league, as you predicted preseason, Aaron, to watch. And could even find themselves sneaking into the play. Well, not even sneaking into the playoffs. They might win their damn division.
At 8, I got the Steelers. Obviously one of the best defenses in the league. And Russ isn't the running threat that Justin Fields is, so Najee's seeing a lighter box than he did early on in the season, so just a little bit more room for him to run. And now that they have got a quarterback that's willing and able to make throws downfield, Pickens is looking like a legit number 1, so that passing attack is really kind of developing there for the Steelers. So I'd expect them to keep developing there on offense and jump up on this list the next time we do it. I got the Steelers at 8.
Yeah, they could make a massive leap for me next time we do it if they keep winning.
I'll take it, man. Look at Aaron putting the Steelers higher than I did.
Yeah.
More faith in your team than you do.
Yeah, so need to have as much faith as I do in Denver, apparently. My number 8 is going to Houston. I like Houston. I still feel like there is more. Like, I don't think they're capped out. I don't think this is what we should expect the rest of the year. They're 6-2, and like I just had the Steelers at 6-2, and it's not a dominant 6-2 other than the defense. The Texans are still 6-2. I've talked about their inconsistencies this year. That's the only thing I don't like. But outside of that, I mean, we say often the name of the game is winning, and C.J. Stroud is still finding a way to win with now his top 2 receivers out. He might just be one of those guys like they thought last year. He might just have that it factor, the guy that just knows how to win regardless. So still got him in my top 10, and I expect to be moving him up as the season folds out a little bit more.
Yeah, at 7, I've got the Texans there. I was going to put them at 5, and then I kind of reassessed after the Stephon Diggs injury. Probably would have had them even top 3 or top 4 if it wasn't for the Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs injuries combined. But just a little too banged up on the outside for me. Defense isn't quite what I was hoping they'd look like this year either, so I want to put them higher, but I just don't think I can right now. But I'm willing to later on this year. So Texans at 7 right now.
Really banged up on the outside. I'm curious to see where that puts the Chiefs.
They have Mahomes,
at 7, I've got. At 7, I've got.
You're gonna
the
question
Vikings.
the 3-time Super Bowl champion? Really? Is that what we're gonna do, Aaron?
Just saying, just throwing it out
The one that
there.
brought you so much happiness throughout the years, you're gonna just throw him away like that,
Just throwing it
okay?
out there, just
Like Andy with Woody.
Gosh,
Fucking bastard.
talk about I can't win right now, man.
Jeez Louise. What a
what did you do
Sure.
for me lately kind of guy. That's
Goodness
scary.
gracious. What a
I've got the
fuck.
Vikings at 7. Sort of slipped these last 2 weeks, losing some tough games, but fully expect them to bounce back. Still got one of the best receiving rooms in the league, and that defense is still no joke. So I got the Vikings at 7.
7, I have the Commanders. I think we've said, or I think Aaron said earlier, that the defense has gotten better than what it was at the beginning of the year. And I don't see it necessarily getting worse. You have Dan Quinn with future Hall of Famer with Bobby Wagner as his captain on defense, and then you have Frankie Louvu, and you have what the offense is. We've seen that they're out there, they're scoring. It's good to see Terry McLaurin looking like the number one that people have been saying that he is. He just hasn't had a guy to get him that
Hell of a
ball,
draft
get him the
pick by
yards.
me.
So, what'd you say?
Hell of a draft pick by me. He was my flex to start the year.
No, I would have picked him too. If you didn't, I was taking him.
Yeah.
That's why when you were playing. So, yeah, Commanders. I just like what they're doing, and I think their defense continues to get better as the year goes on. So they, like Bert said, they might be winning the division at the end of the year the way it looks for them. So.
Yeah, at 7 or at 6. Sorry, at 6. I did originally have this team at 7. That's probably why I'm confused. I got the Vikings here. Only reason I have them ahead of the Texans right now. One, they beat them earlier this year, but the main reason is because they have Justin Jefferson, and at least for right now, Jordan Addison. But there's some weird stuff going on over there, saying free 3 or whatever the hell that means. So maybe they won't have Jordan Addison much longer. I don't know. But as for right now, they do. T.J. Hawkinson, Jones has been pretty solid this season as well, obviously. But limitation really comes down to the quarterback position in Sam Darnold. I don't think he is great, but I think he's perfectly serviceable, and he's getting the job done this season. So as long as that defense can kind of hold up their end of the bargain, I think the Vikings offense should be able to do just enough to keep this team afloat down the stretch. So I got it at 6.
Jordan Addison said people were making that a bigger deal than it was.
I hope so.
He claimed it had nothing to do with getting out of Minnesota.
I hope not. After the shit they had to deal with him this preseason, with him getting a DUI and shit, he has no room to talk. So.
I've got the Eagles at 6. Again, probably the second best receiving room in the league, with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Coming back, just an elite offense, throw in Saquon, the acquisition in the offseason. That's just a nightmare as far as run game, tush push, however you want to divvy up those
well enough
short
for the
yardage downs.
secondary too. It is impressive what they did over there.
Yeah. Then, kind of like you said, the development of those rookies, secondary, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. The Eagles have really stepped up. The biggest question mark for them is their linebacker play, but they're winning ball games, so
yeah.
I've got the Eagles at 6.
Yep. See you, Devin White.
Yeah, hearing it from someone else, it makes me want to have Philly in the top 10. I said why I didn't, but I do like all your points, Aaron. My 6 is Minnesota. Burke said, you guys have talked about it earlier. I just have them above Houston because Houston's a little up and down for me. I know Minnesota's lost the last 2 games, but like Burke said, they have Justin Jefferson. I still believe in Sam Darnold. I still think he can do things. That defense was playing lights out to start the year, so just give them time. They'll be fine. And so, yeah, I got Minnesota still at 6.
Number 5 spot, I've got the team I consider to be, right now, second best team in the NFC. That's the Green Bay Packers, baby. Yeah, I think the Packers are a really good team. I think that defense is next level, low-key, especially when it comes to forcing turnovers. I think Jordan Love is an exciting quarterback to watch for both teams involved. Because, it's kind of, you get a little bit of that old Josh Allen element that we've been missing this year, where he just kind of, likes to throw up risky passes. Sometimes his team comes down with it. Sometimes the other team comes down with it. But when his team comes down with it, pretty big chunk plays, massive, game momentum shifting type plays. So I think the Packers will continue to gel as the season goes on. Jordan Love gets a little bit more comfortable, hopefully coming back from his newest injury of the groin area. So yeah, I got Packers at 5 for now, and I'm hoping that take ages well.
That's not the team I expected you to have at 5 with how your list is playing out.
Really?
I expected you to have them a little higher. Unless you just completely left this one team out, this team that I have at 5.
Is there a team I left out? Oh shit.
I have the Ravens at 5.
Oh,
I don't think you left them
I didn't
out.
leave them out. No.
No, he has the Ravens higher for sure.
Yeah, I have the
Which is very weird with how you've been saying their defense is suspect.
It is suspect, but I still think. I mean, it's still fun. It's still a good team.
that's why I thought you'd have them at 5. You a little bit, Anyway, yeah, I got the Ravens
then
at
you'll
5.
be surprised when I reveal 4. That's not them either.
Wow, you got a lot more faith in them than I thought. Then, elite run game, just added Deontay Johnson to that receiving room, so that'll be another bonus for Lamar Jackson. Some weird close games, some weird losses to the Raiders and Browns, which I guess you can just throw up to Burke's favorite roller coaster ride that is some of his favorite quarterbacks to diss on, I guess. But yeah, I've got the Ravens at 5.
So I would. I'm switching mine. I'm going Ravens 5. Burke made me switch. So I'll just say I have Ravens at 5 because everything Aaron said. They've given up 30 points though in like 3 of the last 4 games, and with the talent on that defense, there's no way that should be happening. But so obviously there's some disconnect somewhere, and I don't like that. I was really disappointed that they played so bad against the Browns. I really was. The momentum they were riding, the way the Browns have played this year, even just getting Jameson, there's no way they should have been able to pull that game out. The way it was looking for Baltimore, I thought it should have been a blowout of a game. I know it's the NFL, obviously it's hard to win, but it's just, just after hearing your guys' points, I had to drop Baltimore from my 4 spot to my 5 just because I'm disappointed they fell into the Browns trap like that.
Number 4, I have the Bills. Reason being, I have a little bit less faith in their weapons as well as their defense even than I do the Ravens. I do think the Ravens' defense is suspect. I still think it's better than what the Bills have. Josh Allen, probably a little bit more scary of a quarterback to play because he's a little bit more unpredictable, I think. You've got a general idea of what you're going to get from Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a general idea of what you're going to get from Lamar. Josh Allen, you could get 130 yards, you could get 430 yards. So I think that volatility kind of I think that volatility is the main reason I've got them slotted 1 spot below the Ravens. A little bit more unpredictable. Ravens, if Lamar is struggling, just hand it off to the best running back, healthy at least in the league right now. Whereas the Bills, you got James Cook, who's cool, but it's not nearly the same level. You got Dalton Kincaid, probably maybe a slightly bigger threat than Mark Andrews is at this point in his career, but with Mark Andrews plus Isaiah Likely, that might just edge out what you got at the tight end room over in Buffalo. And then obviously the receivers is probably Baltimore's as well in my eyes, at least, with Zay Flowers. And now you add Deontay Johnson into the mix. Over just Amari Cooper and a rookie Keon Coleman, because I don't really consider Curtis Samuel much of a threat at this point in his career.
I've got the Packers at 4.
Okay. At least we have the same 3, 4, 5.
Good offense. Yeah.
Teams.
Just a little shuffled. Defense is really good at getting takeaways. the run game's been really good, replacing Aaron Jones with Josh Jacobs. Really haven't missed a beat there. Biggest question is Jordan Love. Keeps missing a part of a game or a game here or there with injuries, and kind of like you said earlier, some turnover concerns, just kind of chucking the ball up every once in a while. But they're a good team. So yeah,
he's
very
like a mixture of
gunslingery.
Yeah,
Very
it's like,
Packers quarterback.
I saw a meme the other day that said, "Do I want to be Brett Favre? Or do I want to be Aaron Rodgers? Do I want to be Brett Favre? Do I want to be Aaron Rodgers?" He can't decide.
That's a battle he has every play.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it said.
My number 4 is Green Bay as well. I had, when I originally written out my list, I had them at 5, Baltimore at 4. Like I said, Baltimore just felt, I don't like that Baltimore plays down to it, right, to the level
It does
of team
at times,
sometimes.
yeah.
Not when they should be, like when they're usually heavy
Raiders
favorites
now.
when it happens.
Yeah.
Green Bay, I'm giving it to them. I mean, they stayed afloat without Jordan Love, and he comes back, and yes, he's having some turnovers, but he's also throwing the ball around the field, making plays, scoring touchdowns, putting points up, and then, like Aaron said, they take the ball away. So I think they have 7. I think they're like number 4 in turnovers this year with like 7 or something like that. So, I mean, they're doing their thing. They're making it happen. A 7 differential. Sorry, not 7 turnovers.
I was
7
about to say, I
differential.
can't believe that's that high. 7 seemed low at this point in the year.
No, that is definitely low. No, the differential is 7. So if Jordan Love can cut down on maybe a few of the picks, I see that differential increasing. So I got them at 4.
Yeah, number 3, I mean, I kind of already touched on it. I got the Ravens. Main reason, I'm not going to harp on it too much because I already kind of talked about it. I just have more faith in their overall team. I just think the Ravens are a better team than the Bills, to be honest with you. It's kind of what it comes down to, both offensively and defensively. Just slightly better, not much, but just enough to be, the better overall team. Lamar's probably going to win another MVP. And Derrick Henry's 10 times the running back James Cook is.
I've got the Bills at 3. I think Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes. I think you can do more to stump Lamar Jackson than you can Josh Allen, especially when it comes to the pass game. You can at times sort of force Lamar Jackson to run, whereas you can tempt Josh Allen to run, but he is liable to just kind of extend the play behind the line of scrimmage and then chuck it 60 yards downfield, whereas I don't think Lamar is as inclined to do that. I do agree with you that the Ravens are probably an overall better team, but this is a nod to Josh Allen and how good I think he is to put them and the Bills at 3.
Fair enough. I think that's fair.
I got the Bills at 3. I guess more so, again, like I said, I'm just more the Ravens than I am. I do like their team on paper. I like what they have going. I like their formula, but Josh Allen just does seem to be having a year right now for himself. And,
Yeah.
Burke said we were missing the Josh Allen where you get the big plays and high touchdowns and a lot of turnovers at the same time. We're not getting that this year, but he's still just finding ways to pull out wins, and the coaching staff is doing enough with their defense to cause a little enough havoc to pull out the games. And Josh Allen also has that crazy record of that streak going of like never always within like 6 points.
That got
Something
broken
like that.
earlier this year.
Is that what
Ravens,
it was
Ravens
earlier
beat.
in the year?
Yeah, Ravens beat them by more.
Oh, that's when they. Yeah. Forgot about that. Anyway, still, like, you don't have a streak like that for nothing. So Josh Allen keeps team. He's also doing it in the fourth quarter, making it happen, closing it out. So I got him at 3.
No, I think it's really close between those two teams. I really do. I was struggling with who I wanted 3 and who I wanted 4. I think we both kind of know who the top 2 are. Number 2, Lions, at least for me.
Yeah.
Probably in my opinion, they're probably the best offense in the league right now. At least it seems that way. The way they're able to put up points, the running game is incredible. That offensive line is stout as can be. Defense, surprisingly hasn't really missed a beat despite losing arguably the best defensive player in the league. If Aiden Hutchinson,
No.
I said arguably. I said
It's
arguably.
not even arguable. No, that's not even arguable. No.
Top
Yeah,
five.
Chris Jones.
Top 5
Chris
defensive
Jones.
player in the
Not even
arguably top
arguable.
5. Arguably top
No.
5 defensive player of the year. Whatever the fuck. Anyways, Lions are good.
Yeah, I got the Lions at 2 as well. Just for everything you said. Elite offensive line, elite run game, good enough quarterback play, and good defense. So.
And they do it despite having a top 5 defensive player in the league. Like, that's the impressive part. Hey, he has a future. He has a chance to be there. I think so. I think that
He was
the
playing
ceiling's
like
there.
a top 5 player this year.
because of one 5-sack game. You take away that
Only
one
top,
game. he
only
has
top
1.5
players have
sacks
5-sack
already.
games. Name me a non-top player that hasn't had a top
He has
5-sack
the
game.
potential, yeah. But one game doesn't make you top 5 defensive player in the league.
He's incredible.
One game doesn't do that for me. He's a great player. I'm not
Be
taking
a
it
little
away from him.
hyperbolic. Well, let me be hyperbolic. Finally, number 1, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Only undefeated team left in the league. Best quarterback in the league. Best head coach in the league.
Best defensive player in the league.
Best, yeah, sure. He's up there. Chris Jones is definitely top 5. I mean, yeah, there's not really much to say about the
Yes.
Chiefs at this
Now,
point.
there you go. And you're telling me Aiden Hutchinson is that close to Chris Jones to be top 5, bro? We should know that one.
Name me 5 then. Name me 5.
TJ Watt.
Nick
I'll give it to
Bosa.
Myles Garrett, even though TJ Watt should have had it. Bosa. I think. No, I'm not gonna say that name. Never mind. Chris Jones, yes. Fred Warner,
Okay. You got.
Roquan Smith. I can give you another 10 if you need it.
Borderline top 30
Depends
defensive
a
player
lot.
in the league, Aiden
Depends a lot,
Hutchinson.
so I-
Doesn't really have
You just had
the
to
same
argue.
ring to it, does it, guys? No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry. Hutchinson, my bad. My bad, Hutchinson. I am a big fan. I think he's legit, but yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just I'm trying to be hyperbolic. I understand he's probably not literally, but
Once you brought it, once they said Chris Jones, I was like, yeah, ain't no way in hell. Hey,
it's fair. That's fair. Clearly an exaggeration. But yeah, Chiefs, really, really good team. Despite what the haters want to say, even though we're barely winning these games, we're still winning them. And I don't really know what else you want us to do.
On our fault. The league wants us to win and the refs are on our side.
That's true too. Sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry.
You're not sorry.
Whoa, yeah, we're not sorry. We're not sorry.
The championship is sorry that they won a championship.
We're not sorry, suck it.
We did.
This video has went off the fucking rails at this point. So I'm just gonna wrap it up now.
All right, let's name all the defensive players better than Aiden Hutchinson. Let's
Yeah,
do this right on
basically
this
what this got into. So,
Yeah, I'm just answering questions. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
make sure to let's see you guys got anything else. No? Okay. That'll do it for this episode of the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube, Swivel Chair Sports. I've been your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle here with the coast today. Aaron and Joe, go and say bye, guys.
Bye.
Alright, please make sure to comment down below all the players you think are better than Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive side of the football specifically. Make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video and enjoy our rants. And most importantly, deuces. Have a good day.